All right. Hey, everyone. I am here with Marco Marinucci. Hey, Marco.
Hi, how are you,
I'm great. How
Jennifer?
are you today?
Good?
The reason why I wanted to have you on is because you are an auctioneer. And I think as real estate agents, as technology and stuff progresses, we need to have a good understanding of there's a thousand ways to sell a house, right?
Right.
And we all know the traditional way, but knowing other strategies and having somebody like you in like our tool belt, I think is really helpful. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you work with agents and why some sellers would prefer like an auction type strategy versus traditional putting it on the market and selling it?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me, Jennifer, and I'm losing my voice now.
Oh
Uh,
no.
no, but very simply, we work with other real estate agencies all across Ohio,
Mhm.
and it's a reserve real estate auction with a suggested starting bid, and it's ideal for homes that are part of an estate
Mhm.
or that are going through pre-foreclosure or unique. There's something wrong with the property. The seller doesn't want to pay for the improvements. So that's when we get involved.
Yeah, so like we've done them before on like very unique properties because it does, even though like it feels like in today's market it's like already kind of an auction effect. I think when you mention like those types of properties like as is properties and things like that or super unique ones, it is it's a more effective way of selling.
Yes, it definitely is. And I've been an auctioneer since 2010, doing real estate auctions since 2010, I should say. And I have 15,000 cash buyers across the whole country. A lot of people from New York, a lot of people from California, Texas who want to invest in Ohio,
Yeah.
who contact me on a weekly basis to see if I have any auctions coming up because they want to buy the properties here in Ohio.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
they
it's a lot
love,
cheaper than like California and Texas for sure.
oh yeah, and especially New York with all the things they have going on there.
Yeah.
So basically, very simple process. It's handled like a normal real estate transaction. Just that it's going to be an auction and everything is done via email or phone.
Okay.
We don't do the online bidding where we have an eBay where it's hard to get the people. A lot of people win the bids and then they don't produce.
Yeah.
So it's easier to control it on the auction side when things are done the more conservative, old-fashioned way. But your listing agents will always be involved.
Okay.
And the great thing about doing an auction is that there are a lot of potential buyers that come out of the woodwork
Right.
that will
Well,
be
because they
handed over
feel
to you.
like I would think like when you see auction, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a deal."
Yes, yes, absolutely. And then auction causes urgency, where a
Mhm.
lot of people are sitting on the sidelines and sitting and thinking, well, markets, where am I going to buy? What's going to happen with the market? As soon as they see an auction, they're like, well, I'm going to get a great deal, so I'm going to go
Right.
steal this property. And it's my job to, get what the court says at 80% or whatever the seller wants. And the great thing about the reserve auction, the suggested starting bid, is that we normally list properties 20 to 25% below
Okay.
what the reserve is. So that's the starting part of the reserve auction.
And
And then,
what's the average of how much they get bid up?
well, 99% of the time we get at or above the reserve price
Okay.
because we go through comparables. We make sure we do good detail with the listing agent and myself, and
Mhm.
we, go through square foot like we're supposed to,
Mhm.
and then we come up with a good number with the seller, or if it's going through probate through an estate, and that's all submitted to the judge or to the seller of the property. So we're pretty accurate.
Okay. So if okay, so let's say that I have so the listings agent's involved. So like the commission, I would still get like we would still get the commission, right?
Yeah, your commission doesn't change, whatever you negotiated with the seller.
Okay.
Our commission is on top of that,
Okay.
and it goes to the seller.
Okay.
So our fee is either 3% or $3,000,
Okay.
whichever is greater,
Okay.
and that's normally paid by the seller, and it all goes through title and closing, and that's how we get paid when you guys get paid.
Okay.
Now, a lot of times I run across a lot of other agents where their listing is getting ready to expire, say it's a
Mhm.
6 month listing and they're at month number 5, and for whatever reason, you're just not getting lots of showing or any really good offers on the property,
Yeah.
I'll join that listing agent on the appointment to have the seller relist for another 6 months. So my contract runs concurrent with the
With
listing
your
agents.
listing agents. Okay. So let's say I have a buyer that's interested. So it goes into the multiple listing service. And does it go under me as a listing agent and you? Are we like
Yes.
co-listing? Okay.
Yes, we would be co-listing. So you would be the listing agent
Okay.
and I would be the co-agent on it. And once it's set up as auction, I will handle all of the offers.
Okay.
They all go through me. I have to make sure they have a check
Yeah.
made out to,
You want the money? What?
well, of course, upfront, absolutely. $1,000 upfront to bid.
Okay.
So serious buyers.
Yeah.
So they have, if they want to bid, $1,000 earnest money, proof of funds,
And they can get a
and
loan, right? Like it can be still contingent on the loan.
it can be if it's conventional.
Okay.
We really don't want to deal with FHA 203Ks or VAs
Okay.
because they're going to want all sorts of repairs done on the property, and that's
And these are
one of the
as
things
is
that sellers.
properties.
I'm sorry.
And these are as is properties.
Yes, yes. You can
Okay.
get more with conventional than you can with FHA. Ideally, you want cash buyers, but I'm closing a deal right now in Paynesville, conventional.
Okay. So then okay, so I have a buyer. We do the registration process or whatever, get the $1,000 earnest money, I guess, check to bid. So then
Yes.
is the auction on a specific day and time, or can the seller accept an offer up to that day and time?
The seller can accept an offer before,
Okay.
and it's put in the MLS that way
Okay.
underneath broker remarks.
Hmm.
So that way the agent knows going into it
Okay.
that, hey, you know what, we can make a strong enough bid on this property where the seller may accept it.
Okay.
I'd say 75% of the time it goes to the actual live auction.
Okay.
25% of the time, it gets sold before the actual auction. It actually gets canceled.
So if there's a live auction and you have out of town clients, is there like a prox, like their agent or whatever can be there to bid, or
Yes,
how does that work?
yes.
Okay.
I would need an email in advance
Hmm.
of who their client is,
Hmm.
verification of funds,
Hmm.
and then the agent can walk through and FaceTime their buyer on the
Okay.
property. And you want to do that because you want to make sure that they're serious contenders
Sure.
to buy the property.
So are they allowed? They're allowed to walk through. Are they allowed to do like an inspection if they want, like on their dime?
They can do an inspection. It's up to them, but the property is as is. The
Got it.
seller's not going to make any repairs.
So like up until the time, like how much lead time is there usually? Like is it like a month, a week?
Well, we like to do 45 days worth of marketing
Okay.
because on every listing that we join with the listing agent, we're gonna put a lot of time
Hmm.
and money into marketing that property.
Okay.
On average, we're putting in $1,500
Okay.
on every listing that we get that we basically co-broke between ourselves.
Okay.
So it's a lot of time and money, a lot of man hours that go into it.
Right.
So
Get it
we're
done
gonna
to
sell it.
push it, to push the auction and to push.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say we list a property, it's 45 days out. I have a buyer that's interested. We do the process. We put the $1,000 down to bid. They've already walked through it either and already had like their people walk through it. They know they want it. Now it's time. The day of the auction is 45 days later. It's live. They're out of
Yes.
town. I'm the proxy. Let's say they win.
Yes.
What happens?
Well, at that point, I'll call the auction, declare your buyer the winning bidder.
Okay.
At that point, you're going to go through dot loop and have them sign everything.
Okay.
'Cause I have terms and agreement that they need to sign.
Okay.
At that point, the $1,000 earnest money will be deposited into your ITLA account or the title company of choosing of the buyer,
Okay.
and then it's handled like a normal real estate transaction at that time.
Oh, so it's
Very simple.
so I mean, I can see like for properties that are like easy to sell, maybe cookie cutter, this would be a case in a different market, maybe not this market. You could do something
Right?
like that, but definitely like if it is a very unique property that might not get like a lot of showings, this would seem like a good way to be like, okay, there's a lot of interest in this, and that would help get the property bid up.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. This market we've been experiencing the past year and a half, 2 years has
Yeah.
just been up and up, 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 and you get multiple bids up and above and beyond. I was just watching I was in another Zoom meeting this morning where a lot of reason for this is a lot of hedge funds and a lot of out of countries, other countries besides ours are buying our real estate property. But how long is that going to last for?
Yeah.
But no, but you are correct. So
Okay. That makes sense. Or like you said, if it's an estate and they just don't really, it's just easier, just like the court's like, this is the price, get the price. And then it's like, okay, let's just do the auction and be done with it. You
yes,
know what I mean?
yes. I mean,
Um,
also on the flip side too is that if you want to handle it and get more exposure on the property, if you're a listing agent, you want, say it's a really nice area,
okay.
and you want lots of, you're trying to market, make that your little
Right.
sphere of influence area. You want to make it.
Right.
You put it up for auction. Anybody in the neighborhood who's a cash buyer is going to call you,
Right.
not us,
True.
for the auction.
Yeah.
So now it's a marketing ploy to also get multiple buyers. Now you have this last auction I did in Painesville,
Mhm.
there were 9
Where's Painesville?
Painesville, Ohio. It's just
Never heard of
it's
that. What's the
it's
population? Two people?
no, it's more than that. It's about 20 minutes east of Cleveland.
Oh, okay. It's pretty far then.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
it's a well populated area.
Okay.
So what happened is that we have that listing agent has 9 potential buyers
Okay. Nice.
looking now, pre-qualified or cash buyers.
Wow,
So
great.
that listing agent has now this whole bunch of buyers that they have to find houses for because of the
Right.
crazy market.
Yeah.
It's lots of showings.
Yeah. So for that brought me to a question about the signage. So like as a listing agent, I'm putting up my sign. Are you putting up another like auction sign?
Yes,
Okay. Is it big?
it's probably about 2.5 feet wide by
Okay.
4 feet high
So a
with the
little
date
bit
on it.
bigger than a regular sign.
Yes,
Okay. And it just
it's
says like the auction details.
it has the auction date and time. It says real estate auction on top, and it
Okay.
has a date and time underneath.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I think that would draw like a lot of like traffic if it's like kind of a busy area or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that goes back to getting a lot of qualified buyers.
Hmm.
It's the people who lose out. So you have one winning bidder,
Hmm.
they won. Now you have these other 9 people who are
Yeah.
looking to purchase,
Right.
trying to get a great deal,
Right.
and I hand those off to the listing agent.
Right. Nice. That's awesome. Cool. So right now you only do Ohio, but
That's
if people have questions in their other states, is it okay if they call you? Or
absolutely, and I have reciprocity in 13 other states.
oh, nice. What are the states?
I'm getting the list from the state of Ohio
Okay.
because it changes because every state has different rules and regulations.
Oh, got it.
So they're updating that right now. I checked on that, and I'm still waiting on that from the state of
So
Ohio.
just any state, just give you a call because the reciprocity is either in place or it might change at some point.
Yes.
Okay. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
They call me. My cell phone it's 440-487-1878, or
Okay.
to email me at info@marcoauction.com.
I love it. I think it's like really important for us as agents to understand all the different ways to sell a property because that allows us to be like a better resource for our clients, you know?
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome. I really appreciate you being on. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you too, Jennifer. Have a great day.
Yeah.